Hello YouTube. If you're just tuning in, welcome to a 12-volt system test here, right here, the jwsolarusa with the classic 150, midnight classic 150, with just about 420 watts solar on this, which is 70 watt solar panels, monocrystalline solar panels, and it just passed 8 o'clock right now. Okay, you see the previous video was showing you that 7 o'clock, 7 something, and the system was bringing power. And guys, I just want to show you our little 12-volt system that we're working on here on our test site, the Magnum and all this, but the Magnum is not wired yet, and I'm running just this Duracell 400 watt high power inverter, and I'm gonna be using this fan. It's a thermal fan. Check that on the video. Oh, look at this, we just bring it very close to 200. That's awesome. Yep, we just got a peak right there, and we brought over what? I missed the amps, but maybe you caught it. I didn't even recall it in my brain. But we pushing that much amps coming in, and we have 70 watt solar panels. It's a total of 420 watt of them, and this is what it's doing. And it's cloudy outside, intermittent weather, and it's pushing this kind of power. Check this out. I see the sun is coming. Okay, it's gonna come back and it dims a little bit, but we are putting this kind of power constantly, 9 or 10, 12 amps continuously at 115 or 150 watt. So that's the open circuit, and it's 1.5 amps, and it's pushing 7.5 amps. All right, take a look at that MPPT, the way it tracks. Midnight Classic is just awesome. It's tracking, and if you guys don't know, it's set up here at a 3-minute tracking point. Okay, so I have it 3 minutes. Go back here, you see the interval is 3 minutes, so it's gonna hold a certain voltage or a certain watt for that constantly, so you can't have like a fluctuation. Then after that it recalibrates itself or it retract again. Okay, you can change it. It's on fast auto, and that's what it does. I can change it to 2 minutes, but after 2 minutes it's gonna change the maximum power point tracking and goes back. We just generated 100 watt is 100 watt hours. So we'll see how things go. Stay tuned. Okay, this is a good analogy or good illustration to show a lot of us that tend to go with the voltage, and I've heard people say they go by the voltage, and sometimes they don't use certain meters, you know, like battery monitor. And if you don't monitor your batteries, you tend to look at constant power coming in. Look at earlier, you see these batteries were 13 point something volt. You think it's charged, though it's not charged yet. Well, look at that, still sitting now. The power coming from outside is dropping due to heavy clouds right now, and we are putting out only we're sitting at nominal voltage of 12.8. So these batteries went up to about 11.9 yesterday. Look at that. Just look at the spike right now. You think it's 13. The batteries are charged, and probably disconnect your array. That will be that doesn't make sense. Okay, you end up in so much trouble, which your batteries will never see full charge. They will never see that. Now, don't let that fool you when it's charging. When they're resting, and you can take advantage of that. But at this point, they are not fully charged. As long as it's on bulk, the batteries are not charged, period. So if it goes all the way absorb, and absorb can keep it on a certain voltage higher, and that means you get in there. When it goes float, that's why you need a charge controller. Tells you that you need sometimes a high-end charge controller. If you spent a lot of money on your batteries, never go cheap with a cheap charge controller. It will fail you. The charge controller will fail you, or you will fail, or you will lose your batteries. Because if your batteries don't have a correct charging, it doesn't have a good, look at that power. Look at that. Sun came out. 17 amps. So if you don't have that kind of charge controller, don't bother. Wait till you get your money, or save some money and spend money and do once and for all. You don't go wrong getting a classic 150, because it can carry all the way from 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, and 72 volt. Anytime you upgrade your inverter, you're good to go. So 72 volt. So if you can find that inverter, you know where to find it. So they'll custom made one for you, and you can run this system. And the more panels the more higher voltage you go, and the more panels you can able to put into this guy. This guy can take over 6 kilowatts of power, 6 kilowatts of panel on this classic 150. You can do it if you go only 48 volt or 60 volt nominal battery. Don't misconstrue me for 12 volt. No, you cannot put a 6 kilowatt on the 12 volt. The lower the voltage, going to be a lot of amps. The higher the amperage, the higher the voltage, the lower the amps, and the voltage is higher, you put in more. But when the battery nominal voltage is lower, and you cannot put more panels into it. So for 12 volts, you can put some enough panels here over 1 kilowatt. You can put into this on a 12 volt. And if you just use a 60 amp or other charge controllers, cannot do this, because if it's 100 amp, that's a good one too. So like the Magnum. But trust me, you have to get a good charge controller if you already invested a lot of money on your batteries. That's just a fact. I'm not hiding that from you at all. Especially with the lithium batteries that everybody's trying to go with. If you don't know much about it, just be careful how much power you're going to be pushing into these batteries. So for me, my system, I don't use BMS. Some people, they do use BMSs. But remember, everything has a downfall. It has the pros and cons on it. So these are the challenges, these are the consequences you pay, or these are all the good stuff. Doesn't mean because you go with the BMS, you are safe. Not at all, because they fail. Nothing is made to last. So BMS fail. Some people say, well, better it fail than my batteries are safer. Sometimes the BMS are the ones that's gonna start the fire itself, because they have a cap. They tell you can only put a 60 amps on that, or you can only pull a 60 amps or 50 amps. That's it. So you keep pushing it. It's a circuit board. Things tend to overheat, and those things don't even have fan on them, like a charge controller cools the component inside, and you are in trouble. And we become so complacent, and since we are humans, we tend to do that, and we don't pay attention to the BMS anymore. You get warm. So I would recommend, or I would say advise, keep your hot component cooler. If you have your BMS or whatever in a cool temperature, or you have them stack up, or whatever you do with them, mount them somewhere, you have a cooling system that just cool them, I would say awesome. Or else them are the ones gonna start on fire. And remember, it takes just like a flint. There you go. Kaboom. Kaput. Boom. Voila. It's gone. So not just your investments, not just your batteries, maybe your shed, your house, or whatever, family, whatever it is. So be careful what you do. When you're doing a test or first time installing a system, I would say keep an eye on it. Babysit it. So babysit it and see how it works. 1 or 2 days or for complete 24 hours. I would not recommend just one day. If I know that it's just one day, I'll walk off and come back and try it again the next day at a different climatic condition, and you see how everything works. And after 2-3 days, coming to a week, you feel comfortable, and you see the power is bringing, the power transfer, the power usage, and then you make your decision now for if you can walk away or not. But don't leave your system unattended. You know, some people say, well, that's why you leave it with the professionals. Even that, they come and check and see how everything goes, and sometimes they ask you, how's everything? Give us a report if any changes. That's why they ask. So like and subscribe. Live from the command center of the JW Solar USA. Just a little tips for you guys to know. Never leave a system unattended. If you just install it late in the evening, the sun is going down, don't fire up the system and just leave it on and go to bed. And probably you're going to be sleeping, the sun comes up in the morning, and the errors or whatever, your breakers, maybe there is something wrong wiring, or because of being complacent or tired, then you're going to be in so much trouble. Things you can able to stop things before they happen if you flip the switch yourself. When you were present, your presence is there, or when you were there, it helps a lot instead of not being there. So that's just an advice to always do, because I want to see everybody go solar and power by the sun. Love you guys all. Live at the command center of the JW Solar USA. Those 70 watts panels are kicking. I like that. I want to see the highest peak, but it's just cloudy today. The weather is just not too the great clouds. So now I see the sun is coming up. It's coming out from the clouds. I want to see it sitting constantly. Oh, look at that. So you see. Alright guys, this video is getting long already. Like and subscribe if you like the 12 volt system the way it's performing. Bye for now. Love you all. Live from Minnesota Command Center of the JW Solar USA. Ciao. Reference to what I said earlier. This is the state of charge of the battery right now, sitting at a very low voltage or wattage coming off from the panel. Like I said, don't let that fool you. So we are only at 12.4 out of 11.9 last night. So we came up. So it has a long way to charge to 14.4 and sitting at 13.6 volt float. So you see, that's why you don't just rely on numbers, that you have the solar coming in and offset the batteries, hoping or thinking that the batteries are already charged. If you go ahead and disconnect your solar array, or you go ahead and start using your solar very aggressively, your system, and hoping that at night or when the sun sets, you're gonna be having power left. No, that means the batteries are not even charged yet. So this is the reference I'm trying to show you right now, and it's good because thank God the wattage from the solar is cloudy right now, way cloudy gray, and this is the power we're bringing in at a 420 watt of solar array for this 12 volt system. I set up for this 12 volt system, 70 watts on each panel. So this is the power coming in, and you can see our views. Power coming in from the panels is at 50 something, and look at the open circuit is this, so it drops it. So it's still cloudy out there. So already made 100 watts today. This morning is about past 8, and this is what it is. And C 12.4. That's what I was trying to make clear myself, or make the points clear to people to understand. Your batteries are not charged yet. So see, power started coming in again. Battery nominal voltage already went to 12.5. Let the batteries charge. If you don't have much solar, let the batteries charge. Drop your loads. Let the batteries charge till it goes to float. Or if you wait till you get to absorb or float, then you can able to drive your loads, because the rest of that power now is just a waste. Your battery is going to be floating for the longest time. So just use that now, burn that power, so it's not going to just tap on your batteries anymore. It will take a long time, and if that have to happen and your battery's already topped off, for people that have much solar. So don't start seeing power started dragging it at the end of the day, or at the end of the day you're gonna say, oh, my batteries don't even hold charge. All of a sudden I can't even go through a night. Boom, the power went down, and you're trying to scrape for power, dragging the batteries below the threshold, and destroy your batteries. Hello, it's a wake-up call. Just making this announcement. If you like to listen, or you like my comments or my idea or my advice, give a thumbs up and share this video. The last part of this video is very important. This is what I was waiting for, and now it just happened. Bye for now. Like and subscribe to the channel as always. Love you guys all.